Well, hello, Clarence. You basking in the glow of a big Dallas Cowboys 31-28 win over the Minnesota Vikings to improve to an NFC East tying 3 wins here as we approach Thanksgiving holiday. How are you?
I'm good. And the Cowboys are back.
Define back.
Back.
Are we talking like Are we talking like Dynasty back, or are we talking University of Texas back?
You know, the funny thing is they may be back in the driver's seat.
Oh, wait a minute.
In NFCs.
They've defeated the Giants. They've lost to the Eagles. They've lost to the Washington team football. So I don't know if you can really say they're in the driver's seat. But after today's game, and going on the road and beating a decent Minnesota team that, granted, didn't have a winning record, but a decent team where they were a 7.5-point underdog, should anybody be stupid enough and think, okay, maybe they can win the NFC East?
I'm stupid. You're stupid. We're both stupid. But the NFC East is stupider. I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, every team has 3 wins. I mean, you know, if the Cowboys somehow beat Washington, on Thursday, they will be in first place, the only team in the division with 4 wins. And you look at their remaining schedule, Cincinnati, they lost their quarterback.
Yep.
You know, they have the Eagles and the Giants, and the Eagles are clearly struggling. Carson Wentz, I don't know what is going on with him and that football team. The 49ers are without their quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at the schedule for the Cowboys and the rest of the teams in the NFC East, the door is open. Now, will they walk through it? I don't know. You know, they have to be watched. They have to do something. You know, it's funny because the Cowboys are feeling it. Mike McCarthy, right after the press conference, said he's already looking forward and looking toward the Washington game and said, we have to stack this together. We have to build on it. We have to do something with this win. He is already looking forward to that Washington game on Thursday, 4 days off. You play the Redskins in 4 days. I mean, Washington, excuse me, like you said, the Washington football team in 4 days. If they somehow win that game, then you have to really believe that it's.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe we're having this conversation. There were some things, though, as a lot of fans would prefer this team just to say, screw it, let's get a top 5 pick and roll when Dak Prescott comes back from his ankle that apparently is now pointed in the right direction. Clarence, there was a couple things that I saw today for the fans who want a top 5 pick that are troubling. One, moving Zach Martin, who is clearly their best player, not Zeke Elliott, from right guard to right tackle, made a big difference. And the other one is Andy Dalton looked like a competent NFL backup, and the defense finally made some turnovers. Produced turnovers. Those are things that if you put those things together, they can win a couple of games. Can they get to 6? I think 6 can win this division, which is what I want to see. I think 6 can win the division. With what they did today, can they get to 6?
They have 3 games against division foes. Can they beat those division foes? And two of them are at home. Yes, they can get to 6. Just on that math. And then you have Cincinnati. We don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for them, because Joe Burrow is out. 6 is on the table. If the Cowboys can build off this, the defense, you know, look better. I'm sorry. I mean, you look on the numbers wise, and the running back had over 100 yards, and Kirk Cousins looked like he was completing everything. He had 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, they did enough to win. They forced 2 turnovers, and they turned the Vikings back when it mattered most in the fourth quarter on their final 2 drives to allow the Cowboys to get the victory and secure the victory. Offensively, Ezekiel Elliott had his first 100-yard game of the season. The best player on the team had his first 100-yard game of the season. And Tony Pollard was what he is a complimentary back, but he gives a change of pace. And after you pound him with Zeke, he hit him for a 42-yard touchdown. Those are things you can build on as long as Dalton doesn't make mistakes. And let's be honest, he got away. He threw interception. And he should have had an interception on that last drive.
2 more. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. He got away with some of it. If he doesn't make mistakes, you know, they, you know, can be competent. They look like a competent football team. They talked all, you know, during the bye and sort of this week that they were better, they were improved, they had more confidence, and they looked like an improved football team.
They did. And the one guy who I thought played as well as he has since his rookie year when he was so good was Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch, for a good chunk of that game, was all over the ball. Are you trusting this, Clarence? I mean, it wasn't like anybody who ever watched Leighton Vander Esch thought, well, this guy can't play, he's a bum. It was more about, can he actually just stay healthy enough and be that guy? Considering the injuries that he's had, both last season and this season, considering what we just watched today and the last couple of games that he's played, do you buy it? Do you trust it?
I mean, just with this entire team, it's a game by game thing. You know.
Oh no! I don't mean that. Clarence, you got to trust Leighton Vander Esch as a player. The question is, do you trust him? Can he stay healthy?
Again, for me, for Leighton, it's a game by game, season by season thing. He has a neck injury that made Michael Irvin retire. Okay, yeah. He just fractured his collarbone earlier this season. We know once you fracture them, you're susceptible for them to be fractured again. You know, that's what happened with Tony Romo. So, you know, he's always one good hit away from not playing. So to say, do I trust that he's going to stay healthy? No, I mean, you can't do that. It's a game by game proposition. That's not realistic. But, you know, so far so good. And he's back and the defense has improved. Moving Antoine Woods, the nose tackles improved. They seem to have at least feel better about what they're doing. DeMarcus Lawrence has been great. Okay. Yeah, his numbers, his sack numbers may not look it, but he's been great. He was, again, great today. They look like a competent football team, and they won the turnover battle for the first time in a long time.
I don't think they won the turnover battle this season, Clarence.
They won it in the season. They won it in the season opener.
Oh, against the Rams. Okay.
Against the Rams. They had one interception. They had no turnovers.
So, you know, when you look at what Andy Dalton did today, and you took the words right out of my mouth, he had at least two throws that should have gone the other way. Maybe not a pick six, but certainly the one at the goal line on the game-winning drive that he threw right into a defender's shoulder. But if you eliminate, and I know that I hate doing that, but Clarence, did he show you enough today as a passer? Because he did with me. If he plays like that, they got what they bought. Or does he have to be better? Does he have to be more than that?
Well, you got to understand the measuring stick. The way Carson Wentz is playing, and you know, I haven't had a chance to watch Alex Smith, but he appears to be playing well, you know, enough. But you know, can he play as well as the other quarterbacks in the NFC? Yes. You know, and does he have enough weapons to make some things happen? I mean, you know, Michael Gallup did not have a good day. You know, he had a couple of drops. You know, but Amari Cooper is going to be there. You know, you can say what you want about Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is the most consistent, has been the most consistent weapon player on this team all season. Zach Martin may be the best, but he has not been out there all the time. But Amari Cooper has been there 5 or 6 catches game in and game out. I don't care who the quarterback is, you're going to get 5 or 6 balls from Amari Cooper.
You mentioned Zach Martin. Clarence, I was a proponent initially of moving him to right tackle. When Lyle Collins got hurt, I thought this is your best offensive lineman, move him out there. But I know there's a lot of thought, and the more I thought about it, I tend to agree with it. You have a Hall of Famer at right guard in Zach Martin. Did you see, and I know it's hard to watch a game and, you know, focus in on an offensive lineman. From what you could tell, could you see any discernible drop in Zach Martin, the right guard, to Zach Martin, the right tackle?
No, you know, and it's not necessarily about Zach Martin, the drop from him. It's the improvement of the 5. And the 5 they were better as they improved. You know, with Connor McGovern. The problem here is that it's always fans, the media, we seem to sometimes know more than the coaching staff, they know football. And I'm not going to ever put our football knowledge up against Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff. They know football and they understand. They have these tried and true tenets of football. We don't want to move one guy, we have to move 2 guys. But sometimes they're hard-headed, you know, and they set in their ways. Everybody's been clamoring for this 2-3 weeks ago. Terrence Steele has been awful. He struggled, okay? Move Zach Martin to right tackle. Move Connor McGovern to right guard, especially after Connor McGovern had played a couple of games and showed that he was okay. Do that. That's put your best 5 up front. Why won't you do that? Well, we don't want to do that. He's a guard, and we don't want to move 2 spots. And finally, Finally, they did it. Okay, and
I don't hate that.
about it. And they ran. A lot of their yards came on the right side. Tony Pollard's touchdown run came on the right side. A lot of stuff came on the right side. This was something they could have done weeks ago.
Clarence, last question. We'll wrap this up. After the Cowboys win in Minnesota, 31-28, the parade will probably be in any day now. But given what this team is, given what we think their ceiling could potentially be, we're celebrating a 6-win divisional championship, right? That's it. Go to the playoffs and get their fannies kicked, probably at home, right? They get to host a playoff game. Clarence, is it even worth it? Like, if they win, if they somehow
just want to get into the tournament, sir. Just want to get in the tournament.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
You remember really the 7-9 Seattle Seahawks beat the Saints because they had the home playoff game. Just get in the tournament. Get in the tournament, and anything can happen. I mean, would you rather have a top 3 pick, or would you rather win the NFC East? Does losing matter? Does having something to feel good about?
I think the problem is, if you're the Jets and you're steamrolling now towards Trevor Lawrence and Clemson, then I think we're like the Colts did a number of years ago when they decided to swap out Peyton Manning for Andrew Luck. If that guy's there, then I think you just flush it and you're like, go get him. If you're that committed to Andrew Luck, if you're that committed to Trevor Lawrence or whomever, Justin Fields or whomever, the Cowboys, as you and I both know, are committed to Dak Prescott forever. So if you're going to do that, then the difference between 3, 5, and 8 probably isn't that great. So I'm of a mind that you don't blow it and you just try to win the games you play and you get the best player you can. Because I think we've seen repeatedly, Patrick Mahomes is a really good example. Just because you're picking first or second or third doesn't mean you're going to take the right guy. And even if you're picking, and you might be picking 8th or 10th, and you might hit a home run. So if I'm the Cowboys, just win the games.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do. And the sad part is, though, if you could be 6-10, but if you win the division, you're picking 19. So you're not even in the top 10. So you're picking 19th, and that's just it. But I think it'd be different if the Cowboys had a chance to get the number 1 pick, like the Colts did. But they're not going to get the number 1 pick. The Jets have the number 1 pick. And I don't know, just watching Fields on Saturday and his decision making. Yes, he's a great athlete. I don't know that he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
I don't think you wouldn't make that gamble, would you?
Yeah, no. So, I don't know that. So you know what you have in Dak Prescott, and you know what this team is with Dak Prescott and how much they believe in Dak Prescott. So, win the games, improve, gain some confidence, with your coaching staff, with your defense, with your players, and see what you have. But they're not going to tank, and they shouldn't tank. And again, the NFC East won't let them tank. And that's the problem. The East won't let them tank. If the Eagles could get out of their own way and win some games, we wouldn't even have this conversation. But the other teams in the division won't let them tank. They won't, distance themselves. So the Cowboys are right in it. And again, if they beat Washington on Thursday, they'll be the first team in the division with 4 wins.
Can't wait. Thanksgiving, 3:30, Turkey Day, COVID Turkey Day, Cowboys versus Washington football team, or whatever they're called. I call them Washington team football. He's Clarence Hill. I'm Mac Engel. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. We'll see you on Thanksgiving. Cowboys win 31-28. Get your popcorn ready.
Cowboys are back. They're back.